How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Tzadi Beis, Daf 92 of Masechta Sanhedrin. Friends, friends, what's this? Alright, yeah. So this Daf I reviewed also at the bar mitzvah that I was at the other day. At least half of it, so we'll see how it goes. But it's a lot more of this Agarita stuff. I'm telling you, till the end of Sanhedrin, it's just going to be lots of Agarita. Alright, here we go. I think we are up to 3 lines from the bottom of Tzadi Aleph Amud Beis. Amr Vyuda Merav Kol Menei Halacha Mipi Talmud Kilu Gozlo Minachlas Havosav. Anybody who withholds a halacha from a student, it's as if he's stealing from that student the inheritance of his fathers. Shinem, as the Pasuk says, Torah tzivalanu Moshe moirasha kilas Yankiv. That the Torah is an inheritance. If you withhold the Torah, so you withhold an inheritance. Meirashi l'chol yisod misheshes mibeishis. It's an inheritance for all the Yidden from the 6 days of creation. Okie dokie. Amr of Chana Bar Bizna Amr of Shimon Chasidah Kol Menei Halacha Mipi Talmud. Anybody who withholds a halacha from a student, afilu ubrin shebimei imoy mekalin oisoi. Even unborn fetuses are cursing that withholder. Shenemaz Pasuk says Menei bar yikvu leum. Somebody holds out bar. Bar means Torah. Yikvu leum will be cursed by even the leum, which are the fetuses. Vein leum elo ubrin. And leum is ubrin. Fetuses. Shenemaz the Pasuk says leum yemotz. That is it leum or leum? Leum. Excuse me. Oh man, I don't think I'm coming down with something. Hopefully I'm getting over something. I really hope that I'm getting over something. I think, excuse me, Babylon. Oh my gosh, I'm like all over the place. I hope I'm getting over something. I hope that's what it is. Yeah, I never really had anything, but hopefully it won't become something. Okay, ve'ein le'om elo ubrin shemen le'om mi'le'om yamotz. Right, that was by Rivka when she was pregnant with Yaakov and Esau. Ve'ein kava, the shorish kava, ela klala, cursing shnema ma'ekov, l'kove kel. Bilam says, what can I curse? God hasn't cursed. Ve'ein bar ela teire, bar means the teire, shnema nashgu var pen ye'onif, and that means Torah. Ula bar yishmal, omer says ula bar yishmal menakvin also kichvar, we pierced the guy like a sieve. Ksivacha yikvu le'om, Uchsev awesome by Yikov Chor Bedalto, that he pierced him. From Abai, it says Abai ki uchlu dekatzre. I don't remember what. It's like this instrument that launderers use for sprinkling water, and it has holes in it or something. Ve'im lamdo maschari, and if a person teaches a student, what is his reward? Amarava says Rav Mevsheshes zoiche lebrachas ki Yosef. He merits to blessings like Joseph. Shenemar Zapazah says Uvracha l'rosh mashbir, that a blessing to that of the mashbir. And who's the mashbir? Ve'mashbir leYosef, shenem veYosef hu asholet al haaretz hu amashbir l'chol haaretz. Amr of Sheshes says of Sheshes called Melamed Torah ba'olam hazeh zeichu melamed l'olam haba. Anybody who teaches Torah in this world, he merits to teach it in the world to come. Shneimar Pasuk says umarva gam hu yarve, or something like that. Umarve gam hu yoreh. I guess somebody who teaches will continue teaching. Amarava says, or where do we have a mocker for Tchias HaMesim from the Torah? Shneimar says, Yechi Ruven ve'al Yamos. Yechi Ruven ba'olam hazeh ve'al Yamos la'olam haba. There you go. Olam hazeh and olam haba. Ravina Amar Me'ocha says, Rabbeinu from Mayav, Rab mi'yishenei admos offer yakitzu. El l'chai olam ve'ele l'charfos lecharfos, their own olam. Okay, so I guess that there's olam haba something somewhere in there. Okay. Vashi Amar Me'ocha ve'ato lech leketz v'sanuach v'samod legarocha leketz hayomin. I guess you'll ultimately resurrect in the future. And Rabbi Elazar says, Rabbi Elazar Kopanish Shemanig Esatziba Benachas, any leader of a community who leads the community in a chilled out way. So he merits to lead them in the world to come. Shneimar, as the Pasuk says, Kimrachamim yinhagem, v'amabuim mayim yinhalem. Okay. Deya is awesome because it's between two names of God. Shneimar ki kel deos Hashem. So between kel and Hashem. From Rabbi Lazar Gadol Mikdash. The Mikdash is awesome. Shnitam ben shtei osios. Shneimar pa'alta Hashem Mikdash Hashem. Konri adecho. So Mikdash is between Hashem. Maskitla Ravada Karchinoya Elamiata Gedola Nikamo Shnitna ben shtei osios. But maybe then vengeance is awesome because it's between two Shemus Hashem. Dichsiv kel nikamis Hashem. Kel nikamis Sophia. Amalei the mill say Achinami. So Rabbi Lazar says, yeah, the truth is, there is a place for vengeance. Like Ula Damar Ula Shtei Hofa Iyos Halal Lama Achas Midas Tova V'Achas Lemidas Pronus. That when it says Kel Nekamas Hashem, Kel Nekamas Sophia, kind of the double lashon, so it's a reference of both for good vengeance and bad vengeance. So vengeance could be good. V'Amar Rabbi Lazar Kol Adam Sheishbo Deya Kilu Nivne B'Samintish B'Yamav. Oh, anybody who has Deya, knowledge, it's as if the holy temple was built in his days. Right? Because Kikel De Hashem, and there's also Mikdash Hashem, right? Parat Hashem, Mikdash Hashem. So because Deya and Mikdash are both between two Shemos of Hashem, so anybody who has Deya, it's Ki'ilu, the base of Mikdash is built in his days. Anybody who has Deya, the Sof Misasher is going to be wealthy. Shneimar, as the Apostle says, Uvidas Chadarim Yimalu. That with Da'as, the rooms are going to be filled up. Kolhon, Yakar, Vinoim, all sorts of awesome things. Somebody who doesn't have Deya, also if you can't have mercy on that fellow. Shneimar, as the Apostle says, Kilo am binos hu is a nation without understanding, and therefore al keinu lo yirachamenu oseu veyotzrein veyotzo lo yichonenu. Because they don't have understanding, therefore the Maker doesn't have any mercy. Okay. Anybody gives his bread to somebody who has no de'ah, yisurin boin olav, so he will get afflictions because of that. Shneimar, as the Apostle says, lach mecha yasimu mazur tachtecha, lach mecha yasim, lach mecha, I think like if you give your bread to like shmendrix, yasimu mazur tachtecha, ein tvuna bo. So that would be like bad because he doesn't have any knowledge, and you gave bread to somebody without knowledge. Vein mazur ali yisurin, mazur is afflictions. Shneimar, as the Apostle says, bayar Ephraim es chayo v'Yehuda es mazoro, and mazoro means afflictions. From Rabbi Lazar kol adam she'emo deya, somebody who doesn't have deya, l'sov gola, in the end he's going to be exiled. Shneimar, as the Apostle says, l'chein gola ami mibli das, they didn't have das, therefore they got exiled. Any house that the words of the Holy Torah are not heard in it at night, eish ochalto, a fire will consume it. Shneimar, as the Apostle says, kol choshech tomen l'tzvunav tochaleu eish le'nofach yera sarid ba'ohalo. That basically kol choshech tomen l'tzvunav is like if like the Torah is like hidden at night, so then the fire will destroy the house, and I don't know, Yoris is the Talmud Chacham will be problematic. And Sarid el Talmud Chacham, Sarid is Talmud Chacham Shneimar v'asridim asher Hashem kore. Okay, so basically learn Torah at night. That's a good thing. Somebody who does not benefit Tamid Chacham from his property, will not see a sign of blessing ever. Shneimar, as the Apostle says, Ein Sarid le'ochlo al kein lo yochil tuvo. Ein Sarid el Tamid Chacham Shneimar uv'svidam asher Hashem kore. Right, so it says that if basically he's not supporting Tamid Chacham, so then there won't be any good stuff. It's good to support the Tamid Chacham. If you don't leave any bread on your table, so then you won't see any blessing in your life. You need to, leave over bread. I think it's like to show that, I think you leave over bread so like if a poor person comes, then there's like stuff for that person. I think that's what it is. Okay. Anyways, fine. Shneimar, where am I? Fine. Shneimar ein sarid le'ochlo al kein lo yachil Tuvo. Okay, V'omer Rabbi Elazar, Kol Mishai Pesisim Al Shulchano Ki Lo Oved Avodah Zarah. 1 second. But Rabbi Elazar says that if you leave bread on your table, so it's like you're Oved Avodah Zarah. Shenemar Ha'orchem Lagad Shulchan V'Malim Limni Mimsach. Lokasha is no problem. It depends. If there's a full bread with it, so then it's like you're worshipping Avodah Zarah. It's like you're leaving. It's like that you're leaving it for the Avodah Zarah. But if there's no extra one, well then it's not for Avodah Zarah. It's just that you just have a few pieces that you left over without a full loaf, just in case a poor person comes by, they'll have something to eat. Somebody who's, I think it means like somebody who's just like not clear in his speech, or maybe he says different things to different people, it's not, so it's like he worships Avodah Zarah. That was when Yaakov Avinu was going into his father Yitzchak, and he was concerned that, he's being dishonest because he's, Kol Yaakov Adai Midei Esav, that Keilu, he's pretending to be somebody who he's not. In reference to Avodah Zarah. Anybody who looks at erva, arayis, so then he loses his seed or something. Shenemar area Torah kashtecho. You should be chilled out. We also in the Mishnah by his ofel ein poskin lo chlonos liros nigov shmamina. So when it comes to tzaras of the house, you need some natural light, and therefore if it's a dark room, kind of like a chilled out room, not overly sunny, you don't need to install a window so to get more light in there to check if there's tzaras. No, if it's just kind of like chilled out, then that's good, and you don't need to have tzaras and destroy anything. Amar Tavi, Amar Rab Yosha, what does the pasuk mean? Shaol va'otzerechem eretz lo sava mayim. Shaol, like, I don't know, hell and stuff. Otzerechem, what does it mean? If a person's unable to have babies, maybe. Wait, what's an otzer rechem? What's that? Kever lo saveh mimesim va'otzer rechem beis harechem. Shukotzer va'otzer. No, I don't know. Wait, 1 second. Tzadi Beis. What was it? Tzadi Beis with Aleph, all the way at the bottom. Okay, let's find it. Oh, come on, pages. Pages, turn. Does anybody want to sing a song for us while we find this? Okay. The grave and the narrow part of the womb, and earth that is not sated with water. Okay. Where are we? So again, Amr Tevi, Amr Rabbi Yosha, Madichsev Sha'ol, the grave, Va'otzerechem, and the narrowness of the womb, Eretz Lo Savamayim, and land that is not sated with water. How come like the grave is compared right now to the womb? Just like the womb brings in and takes out, Caleb brings in Zera and brings out a human. So also the grave brings into the grave, but also exits. There's Tchias HaMesim, resurrects from the grave. Right, if the womb that you enter, right, the seed enters into the womb sort of in secret, and yet when it exits the room, there's a whole to do. There's the baby's making noise and everybody's excited. The womb where milchatchila people are put into the grave. Milchatchila people are put into the grave, and there's crying and there's all sorts of noise and hysteria. Then certainly sorry, Mom, 1 second. Yeah, I'm just like a hint under the wind. Under the weather. Just like a hint though, just enough that I'm like, rubbing my nose and stuff, but hopefully it's getting better, not worse. And then certainly if the grave, milchatchila already, you go into the grave with noise and fanfare, then certainly you'll be resurrected from there as well with noise and fanfare. this is another response to those who say that there is no resurrection of the dead in the Torah. The righteous, that in the future the Rabbeinu Shalom is going to bring them to life, to resurrect them. Once they are resurrected, they will not go back to being dirt. Shneimar, as the Pasuk says, "Vaya nishar b'tzion, v'anosa b'Yerushalayim, kadosh yomai lo." I think yomai lo, ye omer lo, kol hakosov l'chaim b'Yerushalayim. Ma kadosh, just like the Pasuk is talking about kadoshim, la'olam is forever, kayim af heim la'olam kayim. And also these tzaddikim are going to be forever. They're not going to become dust once again. Now, apparently in the future, the Rabbeinu Shalom is going to take maybe even 1,000 years. Apparently it's going to come up in a few pages from now. The Rabbeinu Shalom is going to take some time to rebuild the world. So where the tzaddikim going to be when the Rabbeinu Shalom is rebuilding the world? Now, Shneimar, as the Pasuk says, "V'niskav Hashem levadoi," that the Rabbeinu Shalom will be on his own at that day. Tzaddikim mayin osin. What are the tzaddikim going to be doing during that time? HaKadosh Baruch Hu osa loim knofayim kinisharim. The Rabbeinu Shalom is going to give them wings like an eagle. V'shatan al pnei amoyim, and they're going to go flying above the water. Shneimar, as the Apostle says, Al kain lo nira b'hamir eretz b'motarim b'lev yom. Therefore, we won't be concerned. We won't be scared. I think it means when when the land is being like changed and the mountains are going into the water. But maybe they're going to get tired from doing all that flying for 1,000 years. Those who believe in the Rabbeinu Shalom, they'll have plenty of strength. They will have a wing like eagles. And they won't get tired. They won't get tired. So why don't we learn from the thing is Yechezkel brought people back to life, but then they went back to their graves. They did go back to the earth. So well, this is like the opinion, right? This when we said that the tzaddikim will not go back to their graves, it's like the opinion that with Yechezkel, it was just a mashal. It didn't actually happen, right? The people didn't actually come back to life. The Tanya is one of the Bais. Rabbi Eliezer Omer Meisim Shech Yechezkel Amdu Aragleim V'Mushira V'Mesu. That Rabbi Eliezer says that the dead that Ezekiel brought back to life, they stood on their feet and they sang a song and then they died again. Mashira Amru, what was their song? Hashem Memis B'Tzedek U'Mechaya B'Rachim. The Rabbeinu Shalom kills righteously and resurrects with mercy. Reb Yoshua Omer, Shirazo Omer, Rabbi Yeshua says that they said the following song, Hashemim Sumchaya, the Rabbeinu Shalom kills and resurrects, Morit Sha'ol Vayal, brings down to the depths and brings up. Rabbi Yehuda Omer says, Rabbi Yehuda Emes Mashal Haya. It was true, it was a parable. Omer Lo, Rabbi Nechemia says to Rabbi Yehuda, Emes, Lama Mashal, Mashal Emes. What do you mean? It's true and it's a parable. Those are opposite things. If it's a parable, it's not true. If it's true, it's not a parable. El Be'emes Mashal, I rather know. In truth, it was a parable. Rabbi Eliezer ben Rabbi Yossi Aglili Omer Meisim Shechi Yechezkel Olei Yisrael. Oh, says Rabbi Eliezer ben Rabbi Yossi Aglili that those dead who Yechezkel resurrected, they made Aliyah to Eretz Yisrael. They nasu noshim, and they got married there in Validu Banim. They had children, uvanos, boys and girls. Omar Yehuda ben Beseira al Ragla v'Omar ani mibnei b'neim. I am from the children of. I am a descendant of those people that Yechezkel resurrected. V'alalu tefillin sheniach li avi abba mehem. And these are the tefillin. These are tefillin that my father bequeathed to me from them. Uman ninhu meisim shechi Yechezkel, and who were those that Yechezkel resurrected? Amar Rav says, Rav elu b'nei Ephraim. These were the descendants of Ephraim. She manu l'keitz v'to, that in Egypt they calculated when the 400 years would be up, and they figured at the end of the 400 years, time's up, let's leave. But they miscalculated, and they were killed by the people of Gat. Shenemar, as Paul says, Uvnei Ephraim, Shusalach, Uvarad, B'no, V'sachas beno, ve'elada beno, v'sachas beno, v'zevet beno, v'shuselach beno, ve'ezer, ve'elad, v'harogum anshe Gas and uladim be'eretz v'gomer, and the people of Gas killed them. Uchsiv v'yisabel Ephraim avim yom rabim, and Ephraim mourned for a long time by Avo Echav Lenachamu, and his brothers came to comfort him. Shmuel Amar Elu b'nei Adam shekafu b'schias hamesim. Shmuel says that these are the people who denied tchias hamesim. Shneimar vayomer Eli ben Adam ha'atzomos ha'ele kol beis Yisrael heima hine omrim yavshu atzmosenu ve'avda tikvasenu nigzarnu lanu. Right? These are the people that said that we lost hope. We're not going to come back to life. We're not going to be resurrected, and Yechezkel showed them by resurrecting them. Says Rabbi Abba that these were people who had no moisture of mitzvahs. These are people who covered the sanctuary, the holy sanctuary, in shkotzim and murmosim, bugs. Shenemar v'avoi ve'era v'nei kol tavnis remes uve'ema sheketz v'chol gilulei beis Yisrael m'chuka l'akir soviv v'gomer uchsiv osam v'averenu aleim soviv soviv. That it says by Yechezkel soviv soviv, and by the people that cover the heichal and bugs and things, it also says soviv. Rabbi Yochanan Amar elu meisim shebebikas dura. Rabbi Yochanan says that these are the people who were killed in Bikas Dura, the valley of Dura, in the Dura valley. From Rabbi Yochanan Minar Eshel ad Rabbas Bikas Dura. When Nebuchadnezzar exiled the Yidden, there were young lads who were like exceedingly beautiful. And the Babylonian women saw them, and they like became Zovs. I guess by seeing really exceedingly beautiful people, that caused them to be Zovs. So they told their husbands, and the husband told the king, so then the king murdered these Yidden. But they were still so beautiful that the wives were shofos zavos. And the king trampled on those bones and made them really broken up. Okay, now this is going to be the last thing that we do. Yeah, I kind of ran through that daf, but I feel like some of these dafs are just the kind of dafs you just run through. I don't know, like kind of bitty. But now we're transitioning into Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. We're going to talk a lot about Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Agav, I think that's going to be my Purim custom this year. I think this year I'm going to be Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah in the Kivshan Eish. That's the plan for now. Maybe I'll go pick up some supplies now. When Nebuchadnezzar, the wicked, threw Hanani, Mishael, and Azariah into the fiery furnace, the Rabbanu Shalom says to Yechezkel, go and bring back to life those in Bikas Dura that Nebuchadnezzar killed. And when Yechezkel brought these bones back to life, these bones came and they hit Nebuchadnezzar in the face. Omar Mativan Shel Elu, and Nebuchadnezzar says, what was that for? So he was told that, these people just hit you in the face, and their friend Yechezkel brought them back to the friend of Hanani, Mishael, and Azariah brought back the dead in Bikas Dura. Pasach v'Omar, Nebuchadnezzar then said, oh boy, Asoi kama ravivin tamhoi kama takifin. Right, he started praising the Rabbanu Shalom and says, oh wow, your acts are so amazing. Machuse malchus olam v'shatoni dar v'dor v'gomer. Right, be'etzem machus malchus kolav v'shatach v'dor v'dor. Right, Hashem, you are amazing. Rabbi Yitzchak, it says Rabbi Yitzchak, Yutzak zor v'oseach l'soich piv shaloisa rasha. Scalding gold should be poured into that evil, wicked person's mouth. If not for the fact that an angel came and hit him in the mouth, he would have desecrated all of the praises of David HaMelech that he says in Sefer Tehillim. Tomorrow we're going to continue discussing Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Peace out.